Why a brand new car is missing features that my 2013 Kia Optima has.
Where's my fucking buttons?
Take my advice. 2027 is the wrong year to buy a new car.
18 miles, a nice check engine light that's normally flashing.
This entire fucking thing is broken.
Millions of Americans are returning their brand new cars, and the collapse has started. Before we get started, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
As a young buck in the year 2026, hell, even older people still want brand new vehicles. It's no surprise most people want to be driving a brand new car. Now, does anybody want to explain to me why a brand new car is missing features that my 2013 Kia Optima has? As some of y'all may know, I've been car shopping for fucking about a year now? Yes, I still haven't bought a car because Papa's indecisive. But one of the things that I unfortunately learned in my car shopping endeavors is that a lot of these new cars don't even have good features inside of them. My 2013 Kia Optima, 13-year-old car, has a button that folds the mirrors, luxury, has heated and ventilated leather seats, luxury, and a little cherry on top, it has a nice heated leather steering wheel to keep Papa's gummies nice and warm during the New York City winter. You look at these new cars, $30,000, $40,000 cars. They don't have these fucking features. They don't have heated steering wheels, heated seats. If you expect us to drop the equivalent of a down payment on a house, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $50,000 being the average new car price in 2026, by the way, you better include some fucking $50,000 features. Don't make us, okay. $50,000 gets you the base model, but $60,000 gets you a heated steering wheel. Fuck you.
Quite frankly, I don't want to be doing this while I'm fucking driving. Like, where's my fucking buttons? No, you gotta go in a screen and hope you don't fucking veer off the road. Everything's a fucking touch screen, a fucking button. I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm so tired of it. And then you got these stupid ass fucking shifters. Like, what? This is where the wiper's supposed to go. This is not for a shifter. And then, where's the start button? Not here on a Volkswagen where it usually is. Not here like a normal car. Hidden. Why?
It's crazy to me. This is a Toyota Corolla 10 years ago. Look at this thing. It had one screen, one little screen, and it has everything a modern car needs to have. It's got the stuff on the steering wheel so you don't have to touch the radio, but it still has a volume knob, still has a way to change the radio station, and physical AC controls. Now look at a Toyota Corolla 10 years later. Now this isn't the base model, as you see, it has leather seats. But look at the fundamental difference now. Now the screen looks like it's just an afterthought. It's up there on the dash. It's not integrated to anything. They at least did keep physical climate controls, but now you only get one volume knob. You don't get anything else to change the channel. You have to touch the screen. And the last one had a lot of buttons, but now look at this. All these buttons, right? Because now you have all this driver aids, driver assists. It even has auto high beams. It's just so funny that even basically a base model car like a Toyota Corolla could have so much more technology now in it. It's absolutely wild. And they're not going to last like the old ones, right? Because there's so much more to break here versus the old ones.
Well, we're facing a huge problem. Most car manufacturers are selling us nothing but junk. They've clearly gone off track, which is why more and more people are choosing old cars over new ones.
So here we got my brand new Escalade V Magnus Frost, one of 255 produced in the country. It's my assistant starting it up here. Check that out. Nothing like a little bit of a knock in the engine here with a whole 18 miles, a nice check engine light that's normally flashing, and never touching more than 50 or 55 on side streets on the way home from the dealer.
We got a first time for everything truck, fam. My salesman Jared was going to crank up this truck for a customer. He goes in, and I'll put the video in after this, and you know it's flipping hot when this actually happens. He cranks it up, closes the door, and I guess because of the heat, I don't know, the damn thing explodes. You can hear it in the video, which we'll post. That's when you know it's 111 degrees heat index, but literally just exploded, him closing the door. Factory window, nothing been tampered, no cracks, no issues. But that is a first time for everything. Absolutely wild. It's funny being in a new car lot with the GMT 800 and seeing all these new trucks, knowing that this truck is going to outlast any of these in the parking lot. The funny part is, imagine if you're a family, right? You're ready to go buy a new Tahoe or something like that. Just pick any old Tahoe on the lot, right? This is, oh, Suburban, this one right here. Can you just imagine dropping $75,000 on a Suburban? When this thing was bought, look at this, $21,000 for this 2002 Chevy Avalanche. $22,000. Now we're at $75,000. And you can say what you want, but this isn't even like fully loaded. This is an LT. These things start, the base price starts at $68,000 on a Suburban. Like, oh, that truck you have doesn't have any features. Leather, sunroof, garage door opener, Apple CarPlay, automatic climate control. This is the cruise control stuff. Push button 4-wheel drive, cargo light in the bed, fog light, automatic light, dimming switch, power everything. So what is this truck missing? That $75,000 truck has, this doesn't have. You're so much better off with a GMT 800 than one of these new trucks. It's not even funny. Paid $2,400 for this truck. That's like one car payment on that new Suburban. This is the cheapest new full-size pickup truck you could buy in America. This is a work truck trim 2500 Silverado with the 6.6. And look at that. It'll only run you back $52,000. No bed liner, steel wheels, single cab. At least you do get the long bed, but you don't get the outlet down there. You do get the cargo lights and stuff. It does have a tow hitch with the plug, so you're ready to tow. Can you imagine spending $52,000 on a single cab 2500? You do get the side step. Oh, you get the easy lift tailgate. Like, that really matters. But again, so if you didn't get it with a couple of these options, right, like the steps and stuff, you are looking with Destination. Destination is $2,000, so it's still gonna be $50,000. Only has $2,000 in option, but I do think this is probably their better end, because to come up to the Duramax, it is a $9,400 option just to get the diesel. I mean, this one is $88,000, but it is a Denali. But that's to tell you how expensive these new full-size pickup trucks are now.
Here's another example of a side-by-side comparison of two different generations of cars and their prices. Which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments. But personally, I'd prefer a 2002 Chevy.
How you doing?
That's the old one.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, I know. A little dinky 4-cylinder.
Be pretty sad for a Honda. I mean, they're supposed to go forever.
Yeah, Honda's supposed to be a good car, but the newer ones are junk. You see old Honda Civics and Honda Accords on the road with 300,000-400,000 miles in the same engine. Running beautiful. These are going, what, 80,000, 60,000? They got head problems. They should all be a recall. Every one of them should be recalled.
100%.
Just because it says sport don't mean you can go beating on a circle track up in West Warren. That thing is, on the wire and harness that came from the junkyard, they cut it. They cut this one. They cut that one. They cut the main one going into the fuse box. I'm like, why would you do something stupid like that? Me, bro! The one that came from the junkyard, they broke this. Broke and broke all the way around. You look, it broke all the way around.
All right, I'll get going. Thank you very much.
I feel like every new car brand is having major issues now, and especially when it comes to the engine. And I think this is one of the biggest things, and no one's talking about it. If you see on this right here, this is the oil fill cap on the 2002 Chevy Vortec 5.3 liter. And if you see right there, it says 5W30. And I think one of the biggest problems is that every new manufacturer now, to get to the regulation and to meet the fuel requirement that are so strict right now, going to thinner and thinner oil. Even this little 4-cylinder back from the early 2000s, even this one required 5W30. Well, let's say on this Jeep right here, this Pennstar 3.6 liter now requires 0W20. But the funny part is, when this engine came out, it originally came out with 5W30 as the oil requirement. Again, as the emissions and the fuel requirements got tighter, they went to a thinner oil because it's more fuel efficient. But I think what we're sacrificing for fuel efficiency, we're sacrificing for reliability. I don't know about you, but I rather have reliability over fuel economy. If you take away a mile per gallon and tell me the engine will go another 100,000 miles longer, I'll take that every day.
He buys his and he takes it out. A 6.2 Chevy, he takes it out, and at 17,000 miles, the motor goes out on it. After inspection, he had it inspected, and then he had an engine replaced. Okay, you know, you expect that stuff sometimes. And motor in. He waits 2 months to get the engine in it. He gets a new engine in it, and 3,000 miles later, well, he's a couple hours from home, pulling a trailer with a little golf cart on it, trying to go enjoy life, boom, goes down again, 3,000 miles later. So now he has a $70,000 plus truck that has went down 2 times for a bad engine inside of 20,000 miles. What do you do then? Are you excited about the third engine? Are you going to trust the third engine? What do you do? Well, they say right on here, when it comes to stuff like that too, they say that some of the best things you can do is just consider a buyback or go after a buyback and lemon law. You know, get out of it. And I don't blame them. How can you have faith in an engine when it goes down and then they put a brand new one in it and it goes down even sooner? So we went from 17,000 miles to the new one pukes out at 3,000 miles. Supposed to be all solved and everything fixed. Put the third one in it and that one's going to go down at 1,500 miles. When does it end? When does this not become a problem for everybody involved? And how does anybody who has a 6.2, whether it's working or not working, have faith that if it stops working, that when they get a new one, that it's going to work when we keep hearing this stuff over and over again? And again, it's not just Chevy. We have the same thing going on in Toyota with the Tundra. We got Nats are eating my ankles up like crazy.
Recently bought a new Jeep Grand Cherokee, and within 6 weeks of owning it, we had our first major mechanical breakdown. After leaving the car in Arizona for 3 weeks to get repaired while we traveled all the way to Florida, we finally got her back, or so we thought. This whole incident started the day we were supposed to leave Arizona. We ended up having to get the car towed to the nearest dealership in Flagstaff. The rear air suspension failed and the car was undrivable. The dealership said it would take a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks just to get parts and couldn't give us an ETA on when it would be fixed. So we made the decision to drive in the RV back to the East Coast without the Jeep and would get the car shipped to us once the repairs were done. This was our first time ever shipping a car and we weren't sure of the process. It turned out to be fairly easy and the car even arrived a day early. The repairs were covered by the warranty, but incidental expenses like shipping the car are not covered, so we had to pay out of pocket for it. You can see the new airbags here that were replaced. This is what they should look like. But just 2 days after this, we went to drive the car and all of a sudden we heard a loud pop and the rear right airbag failed again. It's obvious that whatever caused this the first time was not resolved by the last dealership.
What do you think? You're the coolest guy in the parking lot? And then this guy shows up.
A Chevy Trailblazer, 30,000 miles, and the transmission is already dead. How does that even happen on a new car?
Fucking hell. B1, I have broken down again. And I'm in the most dangerous spot. I've literally just come out of the Burnley Tunnel and I'm at the end of it, which is the most dangerous spot. And they're going to come, BYD's coming to give me a loan car and they're going to wait for something. I don't know what's happening, but I need to get this car back. It's saying this. It's like system failure. I don't know what's happened. I can't move the car and everyone's tooting me. I've literally had this car for now 11 minutes and it's broken down on me again. This is fucked. Don't get a BYD.
Ironically, I was looking at new vehicles yesterday, and now I am broken down on the side of the road. So I think that's a sign that I might need a new car. I went to the UPS store to return some packages. Car got here totally fine. I'm pulling out, and all of a sudden it says, engine malfunction. Have the vehicle inspected. And my brakes don't work. So I put it in neutral and kind of coast off to the side, put it in park. Kind of terrifying. Glad I was barely leaving a parking lot. Couldn't imagine this happening on the highway. So, waiting for AAA, going to get my car taken to a local shop, and we shall see what is going on. This is a 2024 Mazda CX-90. There's a guy trying to park beside me. I'm in a no parking lane, so I'm not really sure what's happening here. I have put a lot of miles on this car. It has about almost 40,000 miles in 2 years. I've driven it a lot, but I'm just confused because I've never had any problems really up until now.
Like, this entire fucking thing is broken. I'm going down the hill and I see it go into neutral. I didn't touch this at all. And now it is completely broken. Watch, if I start up something, I'm on a hill, by the way, so I tried to put the emergency brake on. Look at this. Everything is broken. Look at how many error lights there are. Look at this. Parking brake malfunction. I can't put it into park. Can't start the car. It just goes from the electrical on and off. Because it can't go into park, because this is either broken. Keep in mind, this car is under warranty. I just picked it up, and it literally broke in the middle of me driving and just shut down. Gas stopped working. Everything stopped working. So, looking like the RS6 is gonna have to get towed. I was literally waiting to make like a week in the life of the RS6 to give an update on it. And, it's fucking broken.
New RS6 just broke down in the middle of the road. What's going on with Audi? I've seen a few posts on forums about the same problem.
Why the new Chevy Equinox sucks. Now, if you did not know, the Chevy Equinox got a total facelift. For a modern production car, the Chevy Equinox has been a super reliable vehicle, especially in its previous generation. However, this new generation, they definitely took some German engineer. You can tell by the interior styling. And that came with German engineer problems, because this thing is leaking fluid like a BMW, apparently. So if you'll see the photo that I just put up on screen, that is not blood, that is automatic transmission fluid. Now, automatic transmission fluid should not be leaking on a brand new car that only has 15,000 miles. And it's not the drain plug, and it doesn't seem to be the fill plug, and it's on more than one side of the transmission. If you notice, it was inside of the middle gasket area where the two cases meet, and it was also on the other side, which is closer to the motor, closer to the passenger side of the car. No idea why this is happening. However, I am extremely disappointed, but what am I going to do except bring it to the dealer and tell them to fix it, because this thing is brand new, and I ain't touching it for no reason.
I swear, I see more cars from the early 2000s and late 90s than I see from cars from the mid 2000s to like the early 2010s. It's almost like the start of when they decided, it's like this is the time period where everything became not serviceable anymore and just replace. And what do I mean by that? On this Buick, you actually get a transmission dipstick. You get a engine dipstick. This thing even has an external fuel filter still. Notice how the headlights actually just unbolt. On this 2014 Transit, there's no longer a transmission dipstick. You have to do a manual thing from the side. There's like a fill port. You got to take the wheel off. You got to get the transmission hot. It's a whole process. It at least still does have a dipstick. But if you look at newer cars, Mini, Audi, Porsche, BMW, none of those have a dipstick. And even Ram decided to get rid of the dipstick in their new pickup trucks. This transmission does not have a filter on it. There's no external fuel filter on it. And on a lot of newer cars, you have to remove the bumper to replace the headlight assembly. Or some of them actually now have the LEDs. So if the headlight ever does fail, it's a whole new replacement. Like on the Ford trucks, if this taillight goes out, it's a whole new assembly. And it's well over $1,000.
Your new car has fewer physical buttons than your microwave, and that's not progress. The industry is finally starting to admit it. Every car interior has done the same thing for years by stripping the dashboard and handing everything to a touchscreen. In January, Euro NCAP started penalizing it. Volkswagen, Mercedes, Porsche, Hyundai, and even Ferrari are now putting the buttons back in. In 2012, Tesla put a 17-inch screen in the Model S, and they buried every control behind it. The rest of the industry copied their homework. However, a Swedish magazine ran a test to uncover the truth. A 2005 Volvo V70 against 11 modern touchscreen cars at highway speed, with normal tasks like changing the station, turning on the heated seats, or defogging the windscreen. The Volvo took 10 seconds, and the worst modern car took 4 times longer than that. Mercedes software chief Magnus Osberg put it cleanly: the data shows physical buttons are much better. Volkswagen's Andreas Mint confirmed they're bringing tactile controls back for the 5 function drivers actually use: volume, fan, temperature, seat heating, and the hazard lights. Tactile controls are 100 years of design discipline. The industry shortcut past them by borrowing minimalism from consumer electronics, which is an aesthetic that wasn't designed for an environment where your eyes belong on the road. We confused what photographs well with what works at 100 kilometers an hour. The customers complained for years, and regulators finally forced the fix. But the industry only listened when a 5-star rating depended on it.
A 2005 Volvo beat 11 modern cars at basic tasks, and regulators had to force the buttons back.
All right, I gotta come on here and vent real quick. My wife got a new car through her work. It's a brand new, it's got no miles on it, brand new 2025 or 2026, I imagine, Subaru Outback. And it's got the feature where it says, or it's the eyesight thing, so it's got a camera on the dash. If you veer off for 2 seconds, like if you look away like this, or if you're looking outside, I got mountains around us, right? So I'm looking at the mountains. It'll flash and beep and say, keep eyes on road. Changing my music on Spotify for 2 seconds, and it's flashing saying, keep eyes on road. I get the idea of it, but this is the
dumbest thing I've ever seen in a car.
In fact, this is another huge problem with new cars. Many people online are writing about this and are concerned about their privacy and safety because of these new features. Let's take a look.
So that's all I had in the car with me. So I put that on, and so far, it hasn't been going off. So I'm assuming that's where those are at. So let's try something. All right. Let me see. Okay, it hasn't tripped it. So apparently covering it up works, and nothing came on. So there's that.
That right there is a driver monitor camera. Those two red eyes, yep, they're tracking my eyes. But if that wasn't enough for you, there's another camera here watching, and then there's another one up top. They can see everything that you and all of your passengers do.
Take my advice. 2027 is the wrong year to buy a new car. I keep telling y'all, AI is taking over, and they just found a new way to watch everything that you do in your car. I told you before, in 2027, every new car that is made is required to have mandatory federal surveillance technology. You heard what I just said? Everything that you do in your car will be watched.
Mackenzie Shrilla had no idea that this little piece of tech in her own car was going to be the reason she was sent to prison. It's called the EDR, and it's basically the car's black box. The EDR captures how hard the gas pedal was pressed, if the brakes were used, the car's speed, how much the steering wheel was turned, and if the airbags went off. In the final 5 seconds, it recorded the gas pedal pinned down the entire time. It was going nearly 100 miles an hour. That little device gave police cold hard proof that this wasn't an accident.
Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you think about the new features in cars and the new car market in general. See you there.